Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. I'm going to walk through the SonicWall TZ570P Gen7 Firewall and try to give you a clear picture of whether it's the right piece of gear for your network or just another pricey box that ends up gathering dust. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The goal here is to cut through the hype, look at the real-world trade-offs, and help you decide if the extra cost actually translates into meaningful protection and convenience for the kind of environment you run. First off, let's talk about the hesitation most people feel when they start shopping for a next-generation firewall. The market is crowded with cheap appliances that promise enterprise-grade security, but then fall short when you need high-speed VPN tunnels or when you add a few cameras that need PoE. At the same time, the larger brand-name units often come bundled with a multi-year subscription that you might never use, inflating the price tag. The SonicWall TZ570P sits somewhere in the middle. It's positioned as a multi-gig firewall with built-in PoE, and it ships without any service subscription attached. That sounds nice on paper, but the question is whether the hardware can actually replace a dedicated PoE switch and still give you the throughput you need for modern applications like video surveillance, VoIP, and cloud workloads. I've spent the past few weeks digging into the product specs, reading the datasheets, and watching a handful of deployment videos from IT pros who actually installed the TZ570P in small to medium offices. What stands out is the way SonicWall is trying to solve a specific pain point: hardware sprawl. If you're running a 50-person office with a handful of IP cameras, a few VoIP phones, and a couple of wireless APs, you typically end up buying a core firewall, a separate PoE switch, maybe a small router, and then you have to manage 3 pieces of firmware. The TZ570P promises to merge the firewall and the PoE switch into a single 8-port chassis, delivering 5 GBE or 10 GBE uplink options depending on the model you pick. In practice, that means you can plug a PoE-powered camera directly into the firewall, and the device will handle both the security inspection and the power delivery. For many small businesses, that reduction in rack units and cabling alone is a real cost saver. Now, who should buy this thing? The sweet spot is a branch office or a remote site that needs a robust security perimeter but doesn't have the budget, or the space, for a separate firewall and PoE switch. If you're running a boutique law firm, a design studio, or a healthcare clinic with a handful of networked medical devices, the ability to segment traffic with VLANs, enforce deep packet inspection, and keep those devices powered from the same box is compelling. The TZ570P also shines for organizations that already have SonicWall licenses for other sites and want to keep everything under a single management console. The built-in SD-WAN capabilities let you bond multiple internet links and route traffic intelligently, which is a nice touch when you're relying on a mix of DSL, LTE, and fiber. On the flip side, skip it if you're a large enterprise with a dedicated data center and already have separate high-capacity switches, UPS units, and a layered security architecture. In those environments, the 8-port PoE limitation can become a bottleneck, and you'll likely need higher port density and more granular power budgeting than the TZ570P can provide. Also, if you're looking for a fully managed service that includes threat updates out of the box, you'll have to purchase a separate subscription anyway, which erodes the no-subscription advantage that the box advertises. Let's dive into the practical strengths. The first thing you'll notice after unboxing is the compact chassis that fits into a 1U rack slot. The front panel LEDs give you a quick visual cue of power, PoE status, and link activity, which is handy when you're doing a quick check from the floor. The real strength, however, is the throughput under load. SonicWall's Gen7 ASICs claim to handle multi-gigabit firewall throughput while still performing deep packet inspection. In several tech review videos, users reported sustaining close to 3 gigabits per second of inspected traffic when both the 5 GBE uplink and the PoE ports were active, a solid figure for a device in this class. That means you can comfortably run a handful of high-definition IP cameras, which can push 4 to 6 megabits per second each, alongside regular office traffic without seeing noticeable latency. Another practical benefit is the built-in VPN and TLS 1.3 decryption. For remote workers, the TZ570P can terminate IPsec tunnels and then inspect the inbound traffic for threats. The device also supports secure remote access via SonicWall Mobile Connect, which is a lightweight client you can push to laptops and phones. In a field test I watched, an engineering team used the TZ570P to provide a secure backhaul for their IoT devices while maintaining a separate VLAN for guest Wi-Fi. The ability to create VLANs on the fly, assign PoE power, and enforce firewall rules from a single management interface saved them hours of configuration time. Now for the weaknesses. Because the device comes without a subscription, you'll need to